Hey, ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half one show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Coco crew here coming to you live. First of all, yours truly, sexiest man on all of wrestling radio. That's right, boom, boom, here's Shaking the Room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining me from the PWNE UK headquarters over there in England, the man, the myth, the legend, the quintessential stud muffin, LK. LK, buddy, it's been a long time since me and you did one of these shows together. I was worried people were going to think that we hated each other, but it's just conflicts of scheduling. We finally, all the planets aligned, and we were able to do a show together, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, I mean, the way it was working was whenever I could do a show, you couldn't. And when you could do a show, I couldn't. But now your schedule's back to normal, mine's back to normal, so normality continues right here on KocoSports.net. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
So
that's what it's all about.
Real life gets in the way of the internet. That's just all I really need to. I think that's what we're trying to say.
In the ideal world, it would be internet gets in the way of real life, but we both know that doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. But back to the grind here. WWE NXT, another one in the books. And of course, the first question I'm going to ask, it's the first question I ask for each and every review that we do, is what do you give tonight's show? A win, a loss, or a tie? So what say you, sir? Win, loss, or tie?
I'm going to, you know what? I'm in a good mood. We haven't done this show together for a while. I'm going to give this a weak win. I thought everything on this show was decent to good. Nothing insulted me. There was a few things that were bad, but as a whole, the amount of Wednesday shows we have to review these next few days are absolutely ridiculous, but kicked off it good. I give it a weak win. If you hated this, I understand, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm going to give it a strong tie. I mean, it was such a middle-of-the-road show. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. It was just, okay, here it is. This is just like your standard NXT episode. There was really nothing to blow me, to blow my mind here. So that's why I'm giving it a strong tie. So I think it was okay. I think right now NXT's in that period. They just wrapped up with Takeover. They've had a bunch of people called up. They're trying to find their footing again. They're trying to shuffle out to see, okay, who are we going to make champions? Who are we going to have chase those champions? Who are the next stars that we're going to start pushing? Who in the Performance Center are we going to call up to be on television? What's going on? And that's what I felt like this show was. It was just kind of like a feeling out process. It was, okay, let's kind of get some people established. Let's bring some people up. Let's dip our toe in the water here with this guy. Let's try this out. And that's the way it came off to me. It was about the same for you.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like anything spectacular. There was no like 5-star matches or anything. I felt that compared to last week's and the week before, step in the right direction. Considering what it was, I enjoyed it. There was no complaints from me. Nothing stood out like, oh, that was awful. That shouldn't have happened. That was atrocious. There wasn't. So,
there was nothing god-awful. We start out with some tag team action. TM61 taking on Tony Nese and I'm about to fuck up this name, so I apologize. Aria Daivari. Both of them from the Cruiserweight Classic. I think this was a pretty good opening match. I wasn't expecting much. I was actually expecting a squash match is what I was expecting. I was expecting Shane and Miller to go in there, rough up one, have the other tag in, rough up the other guy, hit their finisher, and wrap it up. No, this actually went for a good length of time, and plus some good tag team work between Nese and Daivari. By the way, this Daivari, if that sounds familiar, yes, that is the brother of Sean Daivari. But both of these guys, Daivari and Nese, both in the Cruiserweight Classic, had pretty good showings. At least I know Nese did. Nese, you may know him from Evolve. I think you do. No, they had some pretty good tandem work there. I love that little spot where they were stomping and did with the frog splash at the end. I think that was a great one. It was a good near fall. I think it was Thorne had to go in there and save his partner. But it was a good back and forth. These guys got a lot more offense in than I thought they would, but TM61 fired back, hit Thunder Valley. I think it was a good match. I was shocked that the newcomers here got as much offense as they got in. They didn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination. TM61, what do you think about their progress thus far? Right now, I know they're good, but it's just I'm still not completely sold on them, especially if they're finishing maneuver Thunder Valley. It's one of those I would tell them, guys, we may want to come back and rethink that. And maybe I want to think about how I'm presenting them, because right now it's just they're not picking up as much steam as I thought they would pick up. Because I've seen some of their work in Japan, and they're a very good tag team. I just don't feel like it's translating right now very well in NXT.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting. I'm like, impress me. I'm waiting. Do it. And I'll be honest, this is probably the best match they've had since being on NXT.
I think it is, because the other times we've seen them, I mean, they've been jobbing to both the Revival, they've been jobbing to the Authors of Pain, and I felt like NXT has kind of booked themselves in a corner when it comes to the tag team championships, because, okay, you don't have anybody credible to go after the Revival, at least not faces right now. You just had Gargano and Ciampa lose, and to be honest, they're probably going to go up on the main roster. I don't think they're going to have them do double duty, so that tag team's probably not going to be around for much longer. And then you can't have heel-on-heel action between the Revival and the Authors of Pain. So, I mean, it's like, what do you do? I mean, this is the only face tag team that they have, that I know is going to be there a little bit longer. And so far, they're not really, I mean, I don't hate them. I want to see more from them. Hell, I'm pulling for them. I am openly rooting for them. But I want them to impress me.
Yeah, I think this is a step in the right direction. I'm glad they got the win. It was a well-needed win, and it wasn't a squash, because the way I saw this is, if they went out and there was a squash, it would have made the Cruiserweight Classic wrestlers look like imbeciles.
True.
Made them look worthless. So I think it was a good, and it gets people again used to these wrestlers, because if they're going to be in the actual Cruiserweight division on Raw, the network audience, which is the core fan base, they might not all watch the CWC. So if they, most fans watch Raw and NXT, but they might not all watch CWC. So then it gives people who don't watch the CWC a chance to say, hey, look, this is fucking awesome. This is why you should be watching the CWC. But I loved one spot where Thorne hit that running flip to the floor to the point where he flipped so high that he just nearly missed all fucking three of them on the floor. I thought that was really nice. But yeah, I get what you mean about the finisher. I'm looking at them. They're flipping around, and then they have a power move as their finisher. It confused me a little bit. Like maybe have some sort of thing off the top, but I agree. It's kind of confusing. I do agree.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Cruiserweight Classic, a lot of those guys in there have been making appearances. It's either they've been in the audience watching the show, or they've been in the ring. I should mention there's been about, I think around 10 people it's been confirmed for the 2016 WWE Cruiserweight division, so if you'll indulge me for a moment. This is the list that WWE, of course, this is according to the PW Insider here. Here's the names that they've released thus far. Cedric Alexander, Tommaso Ciampa, Noam Dar, Jack Gallagher, Johnny Gargano, Gran Metalik, Brian Kendrick, TJ Perkins, Rich Swann, and Akira Tozawa. It looks like these are the guys that are going to fill out the Cruiserweight division coming up on Raw, and I believe that's coming on September the 19th. So that'll be just under 2 weeks. Yeah, just under 2 weeks now.
So that does confuse me, because are they going to be like signed to a deal to the point where like Alexander can't work other dates, or will they just be?
I think that's going to mean. I think the only exceptions to that are Ciampa and Gargano. They signed like a different type of contract. I don't know if they've had to re-sign or do something, rework out something. But I know at one point they worked out a deal where they were on NXT. They could do stuff with NXT, but they could also work for Evolve. They could also do stuff like that. Kendrick's, he's a trainer, so yeah, he's there. And it looks like they did sign Cedric, so he's in. But two big names. Go ahead.
I just don't see how that, like, are they going to sign up? Like, are they going to? Does that mean Tozawa now went with Dragon Gate? But with Ciampa and Gargano, they're full time WWE now because Ciampa's having his final indie match against Zack Sabre Jr. at a Progress event later this month or next month, same as Gargano for Evolve. So I do see them going, but I mean Alexander, I guess he could still do Evolve if he's with NXT. But are they going to be with NXT as well? I'm curious to see how this all unfolds. I hope it's great, and what they could do is do a pay per appearance kind of thing, like they used to do with Samoa Joe, where they can go work in Dragon Gate, they can go work over there. Kota Ibushi can do other shit. Like, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Let's just wait and see how it happens. And what the fuck are they going to do about it? They're going to have a Cruiserweight Championship? What are they going to do?
Yeah, it's looking like they're going to bring back the Cruiserweight Championship, and their Cruiserweight's going to be exclusive to Raw for now. Reports that I'm hearing is they're going to give it some time here, and if it takes off, they may expand the Cruiserweight division over to SmackDown. Which, and I know how you could get around this here. What I would do if I'm WWE is I would keep the Cruiserweight Classic, tournament like a yearly thing. So you got your 10 people that you're signing here. Well, after, come this time next year when you're doing another Cruiserweight Classic, you have another 32 guys, and you start to sign people. I would take all those people and put them on SmackDown. And now people are like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? As far as like the championship goes, it's like, well, you're going to have the Cruiserweight title. Well, I'm about to date myself here, but I remember once upon a time when WWE had the lightweight championship. Well, I know that's got to be sitting in the archive somewhere, so why not pull that belt out? So you can have the Cruiserweight champion on Raw, and then you can have like the lightweight champion on SmackDown.
I like that, but I like the idea of having them compete and say, hey, look, the only way you're going to be able to see Cruiserweights is on Monday Night Raw. Like, for now, yes, that's the only way you're going to see it, and there's no guarantee that it's going to expand. There is no guarantee. No, I don't think they should, because I still believe that they should have had tag teams go on SmackDown and women go on Raw, because then you could say, hey, look, the only way you could watch tag team wrestling is if you watch SmackDown. That way, people who normally only watch Raw, they'll be like, you know what, I love tag team wrestling, so for fuck's sake, I'm going to have to watch SmackDown, kind of thing. But I mean, JBL does it on commentary a lot, and we do give him a lot of shit, but he always says, hey, look, the only way you're going to see the WWE Championship is on SmackDown. The only way you're going to see this, the only way you're going to see John Cena is if you watch SmackDown. I like that. I like the way how JBL makes it feel like competition. Like Corey Graves when he took a dig at SmackDown saying they beat him on the TV ratings on Monday. I like that. They should. Oh, yeah, I want it to feel like competition. But I understand where you're coming from, and obviously you want to. But by this time next year, those 10 wrestlers are signed now. We're going to be getting bored of seeing them wrestle each other. So even though the matches will probably be great, magnificent, there's some of them are going to move up from the Cruiserweight division to the actual, main World Championship picture or Universal title picture. So you need to just keep on bringing people in, and then you can have a Cruiserweight Classic and here and there, and I think it'll work. But I strongly believe it should be on one brand. Maybe you could do it where SmackDown next year gets the Cruiserweights. That they could do that if SmackDown really needs a boost in the numbers. But I'm happy with what they're doing at the minute, and I'm happy that they didn't just say, hey, look, we have a Cruiserweight Classic, and then rush and straight away have a Cruiserweight division overall. I like how they gave it time and they're giving it a proper build, and it makes it feel a bit more important and actually kind of gets me excited for that. But I'm interested to see if they're going to do a tournament, because they did a tournament for the SmackDown belt, or if they're going to do maybe a Cruiserweight Invitational where the 10 wrestlers come out and it's like a gauntlet kind of thing for the belt. I don't know, but it'll just be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
I kind of like that idea here. And by the way, 2 more points I think we need to get back on topic here, but it's looking like Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi have both turned down offers to sign with WWE. I know Zack Sabre Jr. has. He said there was some more things out on that he wanted to do out on the independents and Japan and in that kind of area. So I can respect that. Kota Ibushi, man, I think I was talking to Sammy about this. Is Kota Ibushi? You know what he comes off to me as? And you could probably relate to this, but all right, did you ever have you saw like a girl and you were like totally into this girl. You wanted to take her out and everything, and take her out on dates and stuff to try to butter her up, and maybe magic would happen. Well, that's to me but nothing happens. That's how I felt like WWE and Kota Ibushi was going there. Like they really wanted Kota Ibushi, so they're like trying to butter him up. They gave him like an appearance on Takeover. Remember when he was in the audience? They gave him they featured him very much here in the Cruiserweight Classic. Like, we really want you here. Come sign with us. And he's just like, no. And you're just like ready to yank your hair out because nothing's happening. That's the way it comes off to me as.
Yeah, there's something will happen. The question is the money right? If he lives in Japan and he has to fly every time and be away from his family, if they can get a deal where they can like move him, maybe he just wants that little spotlight in the Cruiserweight Classic. That's good enough for him. He can now tick off his bucket list. He's been there, done that. Maybe that's what he wanted.
All right, and real quick, and this is the last thing I think we need to mention about the Cruiserweight Classic. Of the names that they've, of all the names that they've put out there, who excites you the most?
Excites me. Alexander. That him on Raw could be interesting, but then I could say for all of them, like Noam Dar. Jack Gallagher. Really, they all impressed me. Everyone, even Daivari, fucking impressed me in the Classic. Everyone did, because the way it was presented, the way it was shot, they all came across like stars. But everyone knows what's going to happen. Okay, the first like 4 months, this is going to be amazing, and then they're going to get bored, and then it's just going to turn out to what it was, where fucking Jamie Noble was your champion for 16,000 years. Then you had Billy Kidman with a 16,000-year run. It was, I liked it, but at the same time, think of the god-awful stuff that happened. Hornswoggle when he won the belt, Jacqueline when she won the belt.
Yeah, Hornswoggle was like that was literally the death of the Cruiserweight division, because after he won it, they retired the belt. So, adding to my theory, Hornswoggle ruins everything.
I want to watch his. I know he has a shoot interview. I want to watch that and see what kind of a douchebag he's like. Because he looks like a right piece of crap, doesn't he?
I don't know about that. I think he's actually a really nice guy. I just the way he was presented, the way things happened, I think that was just like the scapegoat. He had that god-awful feud with Chavo Guerrero.
Oh.
Then he had, remember the one where he painted the tunnel, ran through it, and Carlito tried to run through that same tunnel, but he bumped his head on the wall? I looked in disbelief and said, that literally fucking happened? That really just happened? He was the cop out for about two things. He was the cop out for McMahon's son, and he was the cop out for the Raw Anonymous GM.
I wonder who they actually had planned for that. I really do wonder who they actually had. There's no way that was meant to be.
I don't think they did. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
All right, anyway.
Back to NXT. Back to
NXT. They did a one-on-one sit-down interview with Asuka. She talked about the crowd motivating her. Her respect for Bayley. And then she talked about them when they asked, well, who's ready to challenge you? She says, you know what, I've cleaned out the division. No one's ready to face me. And to be honest, she's right. My wife was, she wasn't watching NXT with me. She was on the couch next to me. She was like doing color. Yeah, she does adult coloring. Welcome to my world.
Dude, sorry to cut you off. I swear to God. I'm not even joking. My girlfriend's obsessed with that. Do they have like specific books that they color? Like they can't just have the standard coloring. It has to be specific books to color.
It's not. Well, I don't know if she makes copies or whatever, but it's just like she prints out like individual sheets. It's got all these weird patterns on there. She has like markers and stuff, and she colors everything in with.
Do they have like different type of pens as well? Like there's the thin pens and there's the thick pens. I get confused. What I'm like sat there like, okay. I know Raw's bored.
Hardcore about it because my wife's just got like a whole set of markers and they're different colors but like the same style of pen and everything. But yeah, she was doing that. And she just kind of looked up and said, "Oh, she's got pretty hair." And he's like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh, it's Asuka." I was like, "She is the women's division," and I told her, I was like, after she beat Bayley and Bayley moved up, there is nobody legit that can challenge her. There is nobody with enough build or credibility behind them right now to challenge her to realistically pose a threat to that championship. And I stand by that. There's nobody now. I mean, there is absolutely nobody to challenge on. There's nobody that William Regal can put in that ring across from her where I think, ooh, the women's championship is in jeopardy here. Ooh, Asuka could lose that title. No, I think she's going to, at the rate she's going right now, she could go undefeated till they call her up.
Probably. I mean, if they call her up, they might not.
And by
I
the way,
mean, I'm sorry, but we're on NXT, and that Asuka promo, it sucked. Awful. I'm sorry. She slaughtered my language. Slaughtered it,
well,
annihilated.
to be fair, man, she's just now learning English. It's not her first language. I think her English is coming along quite nicely. I mean, that would be like me,
There's no difference.
I mean, see, it'd be like me and you, like going to Japan, and we're like, okay, you got to learn Japanese, like right now. And I'm like, oh shit. I mean, it was just. So I think it's coming along quite nicely.
No, it's just I just found it so difficult. Like, I was like, it was so cluttered. I mean, Nakamura's promos aren't the best, but at least you can kind of understand what she's saying. And she's like, Bailey fought hard, but I'm champion. I'm like, oh, come on. And then she starts going mad in Chinese, which I do like. I like how when you're like, oh god, this is shit. And then she speeds up and just gets passionate in Japanese. Just fucking say it in Japanese. I'm not even joking. It works in the Underground. Just say it in Japanese. Like, if you can't speak the language, don't speak it. Like, if she just spoke in Japanese and there were subtitles, I wouldn't have an issue with this. I'd say, okay, cool. She's passionate, she's putting over Bailey, but still passionate. Here, I'm not worried about what she's saying. I'm too busy laughing at how she's saying it. Call me a piece of shit, call me horrible. When I'm watching this, I'm not listening to what she's saying. I'm too busy laughing at her. I'm sorry, that's just how I am. I may be an ignorant prick, but that's how I am.
Well, for the record, okay, I think I butcher your language more so than Asuka does.
No. See, that conversation was. If Asuka had that conversation, the show would have finished by now. Unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know. There's something about her that really pisses me off. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll get my finger on it and I'll tell you one day. But there is something that really annoys me about her.
Well, I still like her. I like her, and I wish her the best of luck. And I do commend her for her, learning, her progress on learning English. I think it's going pretty good considering. But
I just don't see any progress. There's no progress. She spoke like that 5-6 months ago.
Well, this one she's actually been doing like multiple sentences together in one take. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know what she knew prior to coming over to the U.S., but I mean, that's not bad. I mean, considering you can put together I mean, that's the tough part. I mean, it's like me. I can speak spatters of Spanish and Japanese, but I can't put together a coherent sentence. But to sit there and start putting together, a promo piece by piece by piece, just about 6-7 months after getting here. I mean, that's still pretty good.
I still think you should have done your homework and done some fucking learning of the language before you came over. But maybe that's just me being a little bit intelligent.
Just a little. All right, next we go backstage to Dasha Fuentes. She talks to Steve Cutler. He talked about sacrifice, how Shinsuke Nakamura didn't have to sacrifice the league he has, and he doesn't care if people like, love, or hate him, but you're going to respect him. So he was going to face Shinsuke Nakamura later in the night. You know what? Let's talk about Steve Cutler a little bit later. I want to get to the women's match here. They pulled out Ember Moon taking on Leah Vaughn. And
dude, I like this.
I
like this a lot. I actually really enjoyed it.
I don't know if you know or not. I think I know I've told this story on the show before, but I don't know if I've told you. But I've actually met Ember Moon. I actually first met her when she first started out, when she started wrestling as Athena in PCW. That's Professional Championship Wrestling based out. That was out of just outside of Dallas, Texas. That promotion's kind of been on hiatus right now, but you can go to Metroplex Wrestling now, where a lot of those guys wound up. And I met her. I mean, she's a sweet girl. She's very smart. And I knew she'd been bouncing around like independents, in particular like Shimmer and stuff. And I saw her again, and it's like I'm just blown away by like how much how amazing she is in the ring. And she went in there and actually dominated Leah Vaughn. And I think her original move, that leaping like top rope cut, Stone Cold Stunner in the Independence over in Shimmer, so it was called like the O face. I don't think they're going to call it that. I think they're calling that the moon landing, or the eclipse. I don't know what they're calling it, but dude, I told my wife, I was like, dude, seriously, watch it, because it was coming. I was like, watch this. Boom! And hits that cutter, man. Awesome. I love that finishing maneuver.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like her look. Like, she comes out, she's wearing that Herder. The all entrance music is all good. The lighting's all good. The way she's presented is pretty cool. I like this. I like this. I wouldn't mind her versus Asuka. I got that in my notes in Asuka versus Moon, please.
I think that's obviously I think that's what they're building up to, and so I mean, and to be honest, it can't come quick enough. All right. Next here, we had a backstage interview. Charlie Caruso talking about No Way Jose. He talked about being disrespected by Bobby Roode. He says he's not going to be talked to that way, so maybe this is going to be the next feud for Bobby Roode. It'll be Roode versus No Way Jose. Let me ask you this, okay? Is No Way Jose doing it for you? Because to me, I don't know what it is. It's just, for me, No Way Jose, there's just something about him. I don't know.
He's a goofy prick. That's what.
Yeah, it's the goofiness. Maybe I just can't really take him seriously. It's like he comes out all grinning and goofy, and then he tries to get serious. It's just like when a comedian tries to do like a dramatic role. It's like some part of you is like, I really can't take this seriously.
I don't give a fuck about him in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I hope Roode squashes him next week.
Because that would be glorious.
Oh my god! If you haven't got that on your phone, what's wrong with you? Like, even I've got that on my phone. I think No Way Jose is a goof. His height annoys me. Like, that's a really weird one, but his height actually annoys me. His wrestling bores me. He's just a tip. He's a Vince McMahon guy. Like, I could picture Vince looking at him, oozing charisma. Look at the size of the man, and I bet he has a big dick. I could picture like Vince loving him. But I don't know, he's just lingering and bouncing around. He's like this Andrade Almas guy. He's bouncing around from feud to feud with great wrestlers. The great wrestlers are obviously having good matches with these guys, and they're trying to get over in the process. But can you picture No Way Jose like coming to the main roster and saying, oh god, no, like crickets? I can imagine crickets louder than. Cricket's louder than Carmella.
Let's talk about that, because Andrade, Cien, Almas took on Austin Aries. You know what I'm worried about? I'm actually worried that Almas is going to be like the new Solomon Crow. What I mean by that is Solomon Crow, when he was out there as Big Sammy Callahan on the Independents, I mean, he had a lot of buzz. People liked him. He had some good work. Then he comes over to NXT, and he wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just that he wasn't translating well. He didn't do that. The transition to NXT was not good. He wasn't connecting. He just wasn't getting over. And I feel like with Almas here, he's a luchador, and he's trying to wrestle the WWE style, which is complete. I mean, it's just like he's wrestling with weights around his ankles. It's not working. I mean, I think NXT knows it's not working, because I think they actually had him wrestle as a heel on a house show just to try something out, try something new here. I mean, when he flies, he's great. When he starts getting to that rhythm and he can start bouncing around the ring, he looks great. But when he's trying to wrestle that WWE style, I mean, it's just, I feel bad for him because it's just not working.
No, it's not for everyone. Crow wasn't for him, wasn't for Hero. They're doing great on indies. He'll figure it out soon and he'll fuck off. But who knows? Maybe he's just waiting for the right character or that one match that really maybe he's a confidence factor. Maybe he just has that one breakout match that all of a sudden it clicks.
Yeah. Now, as far as this match goes, I feel like the longer the match went, the more he got settled in and the better he did.
Yeah. I just don't care about him. Like, what's to care about him, Mike? I don't know. He's called Andrade Almas, I think. What? He's a former luchador. Apart from that, that's not enough to get invested in. Like, I don't hear him cutting promos. I don't see video packages anymore. It's like they've given up on the poor bastard.
I know that is a shame. I hope they haven't given up on him. I hope they still can work with him. And I think right now working matches like with Austin Aries would be it's the right thing for him. And I think Austin Aries has got a good role there. I mean, he's basically being like a teacher. He's in there. He's a longtime veteran. He knows what he's doing. He can have good matches with people. He knows how to take control of some things and work around with some people. And I think particularly like him and Aries and Rude, I think that was great signs by NXT to give some of the younger guys somebody to work with. Excuse me. And I just really hope things work out for Cien.
Yeah, maybe. I picture him being unemployed by the end of the year. Well, not being unemployed, not being under
trust me, if he loses his job, he goes back to Mexico tomorrow and he's fine.
Yeah, he won't be unemployed for about an hour, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I just like I've said this about 5 times already. I just don't care about him. That's the problem with these NXT people. I don't give a fuck about most of them. Like No Way Jose, he could literally get fired tomorrow and I wouldn't notice. Andrade Almas, if he got fired, I wouldn't notice, which is a shame. But not everyone can be Nakamura or Finn Balor. But Aries, maybe as a cruiserweight. That's what I'm hoping for. Aries to move up to the cruiserweight division.
The weight limit?
Maybe.
The weight limit's 205.
Oh, it's 205. Oh, I thought it used to be 225 because I know the Cruiserweight Classic was 205. But we'll see. Austin Aries, Wikipedia. Wikipedia never lies. He can't be that. I mean, he's quite a short guy. He weighs 202 pounds. So he just makes it.
All right. Well, no, that would actually be good. But I think right now they got courtesy of Wrestling Rant. And by the way, check out his channel if you haven't already because he's fucking awesome. He says they've got Aries listed tonight at 202. So yeah, he would beat the cutoff.
Awesome. So I imagine this Aries versus Alexander or Aries Bushi. Oh no, Bushi's not going over, is he? Aries Alexander or Aries Gargano or Aries Ciampa. Oh, yeah. Aries Tozawa. I think Aries should move up. And it's a great way of moving him out without, putting huge amount of pressure or having vignettes of Aries. You just put him out there in the cruiserweight division. I like that idea a lot. And then if it flops, because it's only the cruiserweight division, he can come back down to NXT and do exactly this. And if Wrestling Rant is listening right now, please hit me up on Twitter about if we're doing the old school that we do every 2 weeks tomorrow. Carry on.
Yeah, I think he just heard you, so he'll message you on that. Next year we had Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Steve Cutler, Samoa Joe doing commentary with Todd Phillips and Corey Graves. Is it just me, or did it sound like Samoa Joe did a face turn?
Yeah, I really liked how they did that. Like the camera zooming in and him just looking, just not like angry, not pissed off, kind of like depressed. Like that's the look I make when Roman Reigns' cake comes out on Monday Night Raw towards the main event. I'm there like, no, please, no, I can't look at that. I can't look at it. Yeah, but if they're doing a rematch, which I'm gathering they're doing, why are they going to do face v face? And they're not going to turn Nakamura heel. You have to be a fucking moron to do that.
Yeah.
And this isn't Vince, so that won't happen. Maybe he's luring people in for him to go even nastier heel.
Yeah,
you've had that
sympathy. I'm thinking that might be the thing, just to try to lure him into a false sense of security and try to hit him from a different angle. But, no.
By the way, this Cutler guy, I think he looks like a convict. Just saying. I just want to put it out there. I think he's a Marine. Okay. So what's going to happen is, he's going to get unemployed, and then we're going to see him in prison.
Hang on. I should say that was a joke. I'm taking a shot at Coco.
Backdoor fiction. In 10 years' time, Steve Cutler will be in a prison cell. Backdoor fiction. Everyone in the comments, fact or fiction. In 10 years' time, Steve Cutler will be in a prison cell.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm joking there. That was a shot at Dave Coco. I'm just busting his balls. Even all the way from Virginia, I'll bust Dave Coco's balls. I love it.
No.
No, Cutler is. I'm just glad they're pulling somebody else up for the Performance Center. I mean, the guy's got some height on him. He's got the build. I'm still not sure what's going on with the mutton chops, but okay, so far it's not bad. He just needs to. They've got something there. I think they just need to flesh him out.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with him apart from the fact he could have a. Do you remember Nathan Jones had that
Yes.
convict gimmick?
No, he actually was a convict.
Yeah, but I don't care if he's well. Obviously, I care about Marine. Obviously, they're respecting that, but he should have a convict gimmick, like come out in like that orange and then just like kind of like rip it off as he gets to the ring. I think that'd be pretty fucking cool. I'm taking the piss, but it'll be pretty cool.
All right. So, but the match went about, which actually I don't know how the match ended. I know that it ended with Shinsuke Nakamura hitting the Kinshasa and taking out Steve Cutler. There was something going on with my stream on WWE.com. I'm not joking. Like, it did this like all during the show. It would like I would be watching the show and then it would like cut back. Like it would like the video would like skip and it would be playing like a segment from last week. And then it would play that for like 10 seconds and would go back to the regular show. Like, what the fuck? And then when it got to the main event, I'm not shitting you. We get to the main event, boom, the video I want to say like the video skipped and then I was watching Holy Foley for some reason. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And it stayed on it, and then it goes back to NXT and it's like, oh, it's a replay. Here, let's watch this one more time. Watch the kitchen. Boom, back to Holy Foley, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking shit. Fuck this, and I cut it off.
Yeah, well, that's strange. I mean, the only time my network plays up is sometimes during live shows. It will like be playing and then it will stop, go back like 2 seconds and then carry on. So like there'll be like a drop kick and then you'll see the drop kick again and it will carry on live. That's the only issue I have with my network. Would you watch it on though? What are you watching it on?
I was watching it live on the WWE Network as it was playing.
I mean, what device?
On my PS3.
PS3. Okay, interesting. I don't know. Mine's 4, and there is a bit of difference. But my brother has a PS3, and his works pretty well. There isn't much difference at all. So if you're thinking, oh, if I upgrade to the PS4, I'll get a better W Network, it won't. It's not worth it.
Yeah, if I get a PS4, it's going to be when the price break comes.
Was that sorry?
I said if I do get a PS4, it's going to be when the price break comes because, dude, that fucking system still like costs you $350.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was. I got mine for $230.
Yeah, it's almost about the same because it's probably a little bit cheaper, but remember you got to think about the rate of exchange.
Yeah, I think mine was on offer as well. It was a special because with Amazon Prime, they do that. They always do those special offers. You can get this for cheaper if you do this crap. And I can't remember what I did, but I got. Yeah, well, I'm not complaining. PS4 for £220, $230. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, actually, let me do a quick conversion. Yeah, 230 British pounds is about $307 US.
So, considering that's on offer.
Yeah, you got about $50. You got about a $50 price break. That's not too bad.
Pretty good.
Oh, and by the way, I need to mention that Gargano and Ciampa are going to get a rematch against the Revival. They're going to do that on the next week's Cruiserweight Classic live finale.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, bless you. I didn't see that promo.
Yeah, that was in there. I forgot. I actually skipped over that. I didn't mean to. So, well, all in all, I mean, I enjoyed the show. It was middle of the road. I feel like NXT's got a lot of rebuilding to do, but they should be used to that by now because every time they the draft or some kind of call-ups clear out house, they're usually pretty good about trying to find out, okay, who are we going to push now? How are we going to work out their characters? I think that's what they're doing. That's what they did tonight. They were trying to fill out people, try to flesh out some characters. I really feel like TM61. I feel like they got potential. Ember Moon got a
Yep.
lot of potential.
Yep.
Almas, if they could just get him over the hump, I think if they could if he could start having some better matches and find a way to connect with the crowd, he's going to be great. No Way
Yep.
Jose, I'm still not sold on. Not
Fuck him.
Nakamura, I'm just counting down. I'm just counting down the days. I think they're just waiting for a spot for him to open up on the main roster. I think, hell, what about this? Debut him at the Royal Rumble.
Mm.
Can you imagine that? You know, what they did with AJ Styles. I mean, they just played his music.
Yeah.
People are like, who's that? And he comes out, and the crowd loses. If you do that, like I would have him come in at like number 2, like so that when they have to cut off the lights and they start playing his music, and he can do his thing before the match actually starts.
Mm.
I mean the fucking roof would blow off the fucking building. Or if not that, if you want to bring him in earlier, which I don't think they would do, but if I was going to bring him in earlier, I would wait till Survivor Series because they're always going to have like a 5-on-5 match, and he would be like the mystery partner.
I wouldn't have him be a mystery. I would, in NXT when he had those vignettes, I would just have loads of vignettes of just like coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. I miss them. We never get these.
Well, the thing is about him being the mystery partner is the internet would know. I mean, that would leak out. Yeah. Everybody would know it was going to be him, so everybody would just get all freeze it. It was like when Sasha Banks had that tag team match about a month ago. You know, we all knew her tag team partner was going to be Bayley, but they kind of played around with this. And still, when her music hit, the crowd fucking popped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I mean, if done right, it could be great, but everyone will find out, and then everyone will be, oh, why didn't they just announce it? And I like the idea of just having a vignette of saying, hey, look, we just, on WWE.com, like, breaking news, Shinsuke Nakamura signed to SmackDown Live, and then you have vignettes like they're doing with Kurt Hawkins at the minute for SmackDown Live. I don't know. I don't really care as long as they don't fucking ruin him. Because like I was worried about AJ, and thankfully they've recovered. But fingers crossed they could do the same for Nakamura.
Well, you ready to answer some questions?
Yeah.
All right. Questions and comments. I'm going to give a shout out to Andy Paps, who's watching live, along with Gary North, Wrestling Ratton, he's in the house, and Jonathan Duran, and everybody else watching live. We'll appreciate you guys. Yeah, you can keep your questions and comments coming in. Let's see. Andy Paps gives it a win. Gary North gives it a weak win. Andy's asking, has anyone watched Lucha Underground yet? Yes, I have watched Lucha Underground. I'm going to try to work a show in on that as soon as I can. Andy's got a great question here. Thoughts on TNA signing Cody Rhodes? It's not just TNA. Apparently, Cody Rhodes has worked out a deal where he's going to work with both TNA and Ring of Honor. I mean, this guy... Dude, mad fucking respect to Cody Rhodes. I mean, this guy he's, after his 90-day no-compete clause expired, he's hit the damn ground running. I mean, he wrestled in a ball. I saw the match he had against Zack Sabre Jr. That was an okay match. I think over in your neck of the woods, I think he wrestled Kurt Angle. Now he's going to wrestle, I think they're getting him in before, not Death Before Dishonor. I think the...
Final battle he's doing, isn't he?
Yeah, Final Battle. He's going to be with Ring of Honor. And
he just did PWG. He just did PWG, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the Battle of Los Angeles. By the way, congratulations to Marty Scurll. By the way, I think that's my favorite British wrestler now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wise choice.
Marty Scurll. I don't know why. I just like the guy. I know. Yeah. The conventional wisdom is when you go British, you should think Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, but no, I like the villain. I don't know why, I just do.
He's pretty cool.
I need to watch more Progress if I can. So if you find any links to that, shoot them my way, because I'd like to watch some more Progress. But
I
anyway.
have the links. Don't you worry, I can send you 15,000 links to all Progress shows. Okay, I found a really, really, really great, like, undercover, really fucking good site that I'm not going to share it. But it's really fucking good, and I'm going to send you. And when you send it, you're going to pre-cum down the side of your leg.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not even joking. Like, it's got CMLL from their anniversary show from a few days ago, the latest Progress show, the latest ICW, Rev Pro. top draw. Obviously, you should pay for it. Like, we don't condone that on KocoSports.net. We
But
do
I just,
advise you to pay for it,
yeah,
but sometimes, I mean, the way I see it is, if I pay for the majority of things, imagine if I had to pay for every fucking show I watch. I pay for the network, okay? I pay for New Japan World, okay? Progress on Demand every other month I tend to buy. Same as Rev Pro and that ICW every other month I tend to buy it depending on what I'm fancying. So just say, for instance, I want to watch everything. I'd have to pay $9.99 network, New Japan World, like 5.99 for Progress, 5.99 for Rev Pro, 5.99 for ICW, and then you got your fucking High Spot network. It would go on and on. So you just have to every now and then, sort yourself out for free. Lots of people do it. It shouldn't do it, but here you go.
all right, let's see here. Oh, and he may not get to use the Rhodes name. He may have to go by his real name, Cody Runnels, which I think would be shitty if WWE tried to pull that, because, I mean, just the whole Rhodes
Dude,
thing.
that's fucking horrible. Let's face it. That's his fucking name. That's fucking horrible. You shouldn't do that. I know they're scumbags, but they don't have a heart. They don't have a soul. It won't matter to them. But it's a real fucking horrible move by them for not allowing Cody Rhodes to have his fucking name, Cody Rhodes. Fucking joke. Company's fucking awful.
All right, Wrestler Rant, and he's going, no way, Jose, not for LK.
That's good. That's good.
I love you, Wrestler
Speaking
Rant.
of ranting, tomorrow on this channel, I don't know what time, maybe about 2 hours before this, me and Ranton, we always have every 2 weeks, we review a classic matches. We started in 1985. Every week, we're working our way up. We're doing 1987. It'll be Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, but this time we're doing it on this channel. And this is how the series works, basically. Wrestling Ranted puts the video on a daily motion, which we put in the link in the description. You click that link, you click play. When we click play, we do live commentary as you watch it. So you watch it as we watch it, as we do live commentary.
Dude, speaking of that, if you're going to do a retro review, this is one that I want in on. It should be coming out on WWE Network in just a few days. They found the last battle of Atlanta. That is like the holy grail of lost wrestling footage. That is the blow-off match. This is the end of the 2-year feud between Wildfire Tommy Rich and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Those two beat the shit out of each other across the country for 2 years straight. And it got to a point where, storyline-wise, the president of the NWA stepped in and told them they had to end it. They had to end their feud. So they did a match at the Omni in Atlanta, and it was inside a steel cage, not like a traditional steel cage. Like, they actually put a roof on it. So that was the inspiration for Hell in the Cell, by the way. And then Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer's manager, Paul Ellering, he was placed in a cage on top of the cage. And those two went at it tooth and nail, but it was long believed that no footage actually survived. There was rumors that Ole Anderson had like a copy, but somehow fucked it up and accidentally broke it or destroyed the footage. It wasn't intentional, and everybody thought, okay, there's a few pictures floating out there, but there are no clips, no nothing. Everybody thought, well, it just doesn't exist. There's no footage. Somehow, some way, WWE found footage. Now, rumor has it that Paul Ellering had a copy and he just sat on it. But if you look in their latest, they were talking about like lost matches that they had. They're even going to feature a match between Bret Hart and Terry Funk. Is during one of like Terry Funk's like 800 retirement matches. But anyway, they found that, and that is something I've always wanted to see. If you go to WWE.com and you look that up, they have some old footage where those two would fight, and then how the build up to the last battle of Atlanta. I so cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, I guess we will maybe once we've caught up to 2000 and whatever we go to. Maybe we'll just go back and have a look at that. You can join us tomorrow if you want. Coco's joined us once before for the 1985 one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pop you a message when we go, like 10 minutes before we go live.
Okay, sounds good. Wrestling Ranton goes there. He believes like he's this theory with Samoa Joe and Nakamura. He's saying that maybe that they could have worked towards Joe just going crazy and injuring Nakamura, being like a nastier Samoa Joe, which would make sense. I mean, it's like you gotta find some way to escalate it. Let's see. And by the way, Wrestling Rant seems to be on board with the last Battle of Atlanta. Saw a videotape bad copy way back in the 80s, but haven't seen it forever. Brutal match. So yeah, I definitely I definitely want to see this match because it was so much hyped. And I guess the reason I want to see it is because I haven't been able to. It's like, well, nobody can watch this match ever. Why? Because, well, there's no known copies of the match. And all of a sudden they find a copy. It's like, okay, I guess I want to watch this now.
Dude, those old school matches are brutal. Last week we did Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard in the steel cage from Starcade '86. That was brutal. He bladed his arm. It was grim, really nasty.
Yeah, just look if you want to like see some like bling. Look at anything Dusty Rhodes did, man.
Oh, dude, his head though, his forehead from all the blading he used to do.
Oh, I know. It's like he used to do this old trick. I think I told you about it one time. Is Dusty was like a master of this. Like what he would do is he would, if he knew he was going to blade, he would wear white, and so that way you could blade just a little bit, and that blood would get on the shirt and it would soak in, and it would look big. You know, the blood would look bigger than what it was, and it would all show and it would all pop. You know, because when you got white and it just really sticks out. I mean, that way it made things look, just more dramatic than what they were. We miss you, Dream. We miss you. All right. Anything else you want to add here? Because I think that's going to do it.
No, just decent NXT show. I mean, interesting where Nakamura Joe's going. Steve Cutler, fact or fiction in 10 years, will he be locked up in prison? Almas, we're waiting for him to click. Aries is Aries. Hopefully he's in the cruiserweight division. Ember Moon, hopefully she has a feud with Asuka sometime in the future. That could be good. What else have I got here? Leah Vaughn wasn't as bad as I thought she would be. Asuka's English sucks. TM 6-1. I'm waiting for their breakout match. Nice, awesome. Davari, awesome. CWC, perfect. Summary.
I know when we did the Triforce, actually we have to call it something different this year because there's 4 of us now. Maybe 5. Actually, we can get Wrestling Rant involved. We can do like the Pentagon Awards.
It's a good shout.
We could do that, and I think right now, Cruiserweight Classic is shooing for right now show of the year.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I'll watch that when I wake up tomorrow.
So, but speaking of Lucha Underground, we're hoping to have a review with that within the next 24 to 48 hours. Same with the Cruiserweight Classic review. Okay, you reviewing TNA?
Yeah, TNA. Yep. Go on.
I was going to ask you that. Is it worth watching now that DC Carter's no longer in charge and you got Billy Corgan running things?
Dude, the effort that was put in. Literally, the comments this week were literally win, 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 win. Holy crap, the effort put in. Like, the effort put in. Like, even if you're watching and you're like, oh, I don't really like this, you just respect the effort put in. Like, there was literally, my notes were the same for Impact as a 3-hour and 15-minute Raw, which just shows you how hard they're going for it. And that, it's last resort, and they're really pulling it out. I'm actually looking forward to Bound for Glory. You got EC3 Lashley, Galloway, Damian Sandow. You've got Bennett and Moose in a really intense rivalry. You got Maria making this babyface girl, and really sympathetic babyface girl, get on her knees, lie down, and give up the Knockouts Championship. It was a really heartfelt moment, like really, really good episode of Impact. So yeah, I the way I work now is I don't want to stay up till 6, 7 a.m. I want to stay up till like now, 4 a.m. Okay, and I do that by watching shows the day after. So there'll no longer be like Raw reviews live after. You just have to wait 20 to 24 hours. Because that way I'll be able to do them all. Like I've done a Raw, Impact, and then NXT, CWC tomorrow, Lucha Underground tomorrow, Retro review tomorrow, Backlash preview at the weekend, Backlash review. Oh, Backlash.
Yeah,
I watch. Oh, that's depressing.
I'm going to try to get in a Ring of Honor review. Backlash. Now that's going to be interesting because that's actually in my hometown right now of Richmond, Virginia. I don't know if I'm going to make it because I have to work, and it's going to be difficult trying to schedule like to get that in. I still don't even have tickets. I don't know if tickets are still available. I'm going to go see if I can score some freebies maybe. And actually, here's another side note here. To promote the show, AJ Styles is going to show up at my station's morning show.
Nice, nice.
So I've
You're
met
gonna
him.
be a complete. You're gonna be a complete mark.
I can't. Well, I could, but I'm going to try not to. What I did today, in anticipation of it, I actually met AJ Styles back in January 2014. This is just before he went to Japan. This was like a few months before that. He he went to the show. I got my picture taken with him. Well, I found a copy of that picture, and I went and I printed it out to an 8x10. And I'm going to see if I can get him to autograph it.
That's a great shout. That's a good shout. That's a great shout. I met. Well, I was at a Rev Pro show, but I got AJ to sign mine, and then I platinumed it up. That's my little crown jewel. There's very little things I have in my PWME UK headquarters because obviously, because there's actually an office there where my dad does his actual, office work, and I got my desk in the corner here, so I don't want to have too much wrestling stuff on the walls because then if his consultants will come round and they're looking and thinking, what the fuck kind of joint are you running here? Wrestling half-naked men pictures on the wall.
That's where you step in because this is the goddamn PWME UK headquarters, sir.
And you will take your shoes off before you come in here.
Exactly.
He'll be like, sorry, okay, I didn't realize it was you. Damn right, yes, man.
All right, and then let's see, and Wrestling Ratton, I'm going to give him a shout out. He says, see y'all tomorrow here on KocoSports for retro review of Steamboat vs. Savage, Pentagon Dark Awards. All right. By the way, if you ever checked out Wrestling Rantin', that's wrestling with 3 S's and Rantin' with no G. He's got a good channel. Check it out. Also, he does another channel. It's called Offensive Movie Review. So if you're a big fan of movies, and who isn't, check it out. He puts his own little spin on some things, and they're pretty interesting. I listened to his review for Don't Breathe, and it kind of got me interested. Maybe I'll actually, maybe go see this movie because of his review. So check him out. Wrestling Rantin'. He's got 2 channels. Wrestling Rantin'. Obviously, he talks about professional wrestling, everything going on there. And then he also has another channel, Offensive Movie Reviews, puts his own spin on things. Siskel and Ebert ain't got shit on him. So that's going to do it for us here. This is Booms for LK and for Dave and Sammy saying thank you for joining us. Check us out at prowrestling.me, KocoSports.com, KocoSports.net takes you to the same place. Be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So until next time, kids, the boom just went bang, and I am out.